All right, we've heard one story, but let's talk more about what those lifestyle changes can include, how to stick to them, and options available. Dr. Alex Ukleja with Cone Health, Healthy Weight and Wellness is with us. She says, call her Dr. U. She says that's what her patients call her. All right. So, many times we're focused on the number on the scale or the amount of weight that we want to lose. But what are the health benefits, just the health benefits of maintaining a healthy weight?
So there are lots of healthy benefits to just changing your weight or even maintaining a healthy weight. And that's keeping pretty much all chronic medical diseases you may have really in check. There's attributable improvements in all biometrics with 5 to 10% weight loss. It's really the maintenance that we're after to keep that where it's controlled. And that tends to be the most difficult part for most patients.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to consistently do that. All right, so let's talk about this. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are watching right now who are ready to get started losing weight. What are the first steps that they should take when they get started?
So I love this question. I think that there's lots of things people can do to get started. First is just start becoming more aware of the habits that you have. Some of the reasons that you eat or the habits that set you up to eat, maybe restaurants you all go to or the schedule that your family adheres to. What foods do you like? What foods do you not like? And that is very helpful for when you come to a clinic like ours to help us set you up with an eating plan that's really personalized. You've already thought through some of maybe the pitfalls that maybe you've identified, or maybe even some of the foods you like and don't like, or reasons that you may have come up with why you're in the predicament that you're in.
Okay, like for instance, like if schedule makes it so that you're always on the run on Mondays and Wednesdays and you always go through the fast food line, saying that can help you help them make a better plan.
Right, because there's no such thing as bad food. It's just a matter of what's the most nutritious option in the options that you have available. And that's where clinics like ours come in, or doctors like me come in, where we can educate people on how to make more nutritious choices in what's readily available.
All right, because that's my next thing, like healthy eating. People always want to follow this diet or that diet. What should a healthy, balanced diet include?
So a healthy diet is really personalized to what you like. So it's hard to find or make a general one size fits all answer to this. I would say a healthy, balanced diet incorporates, whole grains, protein sources, and protein sources are vast. So it's really dependent on what you like, vegetables, and a little bit of indulgence, because you can't cut out those things forever and expect to not then have a relapse into that unhealthy eating pattern.
Okay, all right. So how vital is regular physical activity for sustainable weight loss, and what should that look like? Because a lot of people say it's only what you eat, it's not what you're doing activity-wise.
So activity is super important, especially when it comes to weight loss maintenance. Activity is the only way to get active muscle engagement, and muscle engagement or muscle mass retention is the only way to maintain a metabolism, which is really then the only way to maintain weight loss. Weight loss by itself is a lot of nutrition, okay? It comes down to what you eat. But when you transition to that maintenance phase, it's exercise. And that foundation of exercise needs to be implemented before you get to that phase in order to be able to achieve the amount of activity that would be required to be able to stay in maintenance phase.
Okay, and is there a certain amount of activity that has to be done?
So there's a lot of data out there about what the lowest amount of activity is. And what I generally tell patients is we should be aiming for 150 to 300 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity per week. And moderate to vigorous is very specific to each individual, because what's vigorous for me may be very easy for someone else, and vice versa.
Okay, gotcha. All right, we're going to continue this conversation. We're going to talk about how stress plays in with all of this. That's coming up next.